You mentioned some of the places that you travel to. One of the interesting ones that we've got from the notes is traveling to Palestine. What was that like? Trying to
unique.
It seems that would be
the word. Yeah. What year we talking here?
97, 98,
okay,
something like that. Yeah. Palestine had applied to become members of FIFA. So through the British Council and FIFA, they wanted somebody to go out and spend time out there. 6 weeks, 3 weeks, and then another 3 weeks to sort the wheat out from the chaff, so to speak, and then the next 3 weeks more advanced training.
Mm-hmm.
So that landed on my doorstep, and I was offered it. I thought, this is an opportunity of a lifetime.
Yeah.
And it's the West Bank and Gaza.
Yeah.
So you have to go through Israel to get there.
Yeah.
And if you saw what was going on then compared to now, it was kid stuff. But when you have little old ladies, and I mean little old ladies, sitting on a blanket outside the Damascus Gate, who are Palestinian, trying to sell apples, pears, whatever, to make a few, and the Israeli police hitting them with batons.
Wow.
And that's going back then.
Yeah.
And the hospitality was outstanding, because in the Arab culture, if your worst enemy comes to your door, you have to offer hospitality. If you don't like them, you still have to offer the hospitality. Afterwards, you can take out and shoot them, doesn't matter. You have to, and it had two chairmen of the referees committee, chairman of the West Bank committee, chairman of the Gaza referees, and they were like chalk and cheese. The guy on the West Bank only wanted his referees, nobody from Gaza, whereas the guy from Gaza was brilliant. And he invited me to his house as a guest, but what I found strange was there was a knock on the door, and it was his wife. Because there were 3 men in the room, she had to knock the door to ask permission to come in, which I found strange.
Yeah.
Now, if we four are walking out there now to that door to go out, and a lady goes to come in, we automatically step back to let the lady first.
Mm-hmm.
Not in the Arab world.
Yeah.
Because I did it, and what are you doing? You know. So the first thing I organised was a fitness test.
Right.
And I give them the bleep test, the 20-yard shuttle. The level 1 is 9 seconds to go 20 yards, 20 metres, and you can walk it. Right? And I had people dropping out at level 2. So, okay, you, out, finish. No. Yeah, you, out, finish. Oh, I'm friend of chairman. I don't care. If you're friendly with Yasser Arafat, you're out. No, I stay. So the chairman comes over. What is the problem? He gets to just past level 1. The pass, you've got to get to level 9.2.
Yeah, he's never getting there, is he?
No, he's got no chance, so he's out. No, he's my friend, let him stay. No, he goes. No, he stays. Okay, I said, very simple. I have already been paid. He stays, I go, no FIFA referees. He went.
Don't blame you, yeah.
And then the games in Palestine, the facilities were terrible. And any game couldn't take place unless the army was present.
Wow.
No armed people there, no game's off. The referees' kits, they were like ragtag and bobtail. They were, anyway, there was one game where the referee had a bit of a nightmare.
Yeah.
And what I did as an exercise for the other match officials, they had to write a report on their colleague from an observer's point of view. And we're having the meeting now, and everything I do, obviously, some of them didn't speak English, so everything's going through the interpreter. When and they were tearing their colleague apart. They were merciless. They made me look like a good guy, right? And the art of observing is, if you're going to make a comment which is advice, it has to be constructive. Anybody can find fault, but you have to offer advice how that can be rectified. Well, and I'm making observation when suddenly knock on the door and an envelope comes in. So somebody took the envelope, and it's all, Arabic, and handed it to the chairman, and he started reading it, and I could see his face drop. So at the break, I said, "What's the problem?" And he handed me the line and said, "Read that." Of course, it's in Arabic, so I can't read it, so I give it to the interpreter. It's the manager of the team that lost today. They don't want this referee, and that you said that this referee had a very poor game. And I hadn't spoken to anybody, because I would never comment publicly to a manager. My friend, you were upset. I said, "I'm not upset, I'm just bloody annoyed. The guy's telling lies. Excuse me, I must make phone calls." So he goes out and he comes back. "Tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock, will you please be ready in the reception of the hotel? Because the president of the Palestinian Football Federation wishes to meet you." Okay. The president of the Palestinian Football Association was Yasser Arafat's head of military intelligence.
Oh, God.
So I was taken to the PLO headquarters by two guys who made WWE wrestlers look small. And he apologised most profusely and presses a button on his desk, and the manager of the guy's got it, and he's been flogged. He's been given the lash.
God.
And he said, "This is how we treat people who insult our guests." So I was half tempted when I came home to say, "I've got this great idea for dealing with managers who abuse referees in the future," but I don't think it would have gone down very well. Yeah.
You can't imagine Sir Alex Ferguson getting flogged after a game.
That sounds like
Did you expect it to go like that far over there, really, or was it just like...
Different culture, you've got to grin and bear it. Like, on the other hand, on the hospitality side, the treasurer said, "Okay, now, on the last day," he said, "you fly home on Saturday?" "Yeah. We finish the course on Thursday, so on Friday, before you go home, we're going to take you sightseeing, and you will come to my farm for lunch." Now, I got a vision of a farm, oranges, lemons.
Yeah.
I smelt the farm 2 miles before we got there, because he was a chicken farmer.
Oh, okay.
On the tour, they took me to Bethlehem. From Bethlehem to the Garden of Gethsemane. Then walked the Via Dolorosa, where Christ walked with the cross, to the site of the crucifixion and the site of the resurrection.
Wow.
And I tell you what, that's like having a block of ice put down your spine. In Bethlehem, there were people of our age, grown men crying.
Wow.
The emotion was so much. And then the walk up there to the site of the crucifixion and the resurrection. And what was interesting, the site of the crucifixion is less than a quarter of a mile away from where the Prophet Muhammad is supposed to have ascended to heaven.
Right, okay.
Because there's two main churches in Jerusalem. The Holy Sepulchre, where 5 major religions share.
Yeah.
And the Church of the Golden Dome, where the Muslims worship. And at the dinner, the sort of farewell dinner, they presented me with, it's about that size, by about that size, stainless steel with an etching of the Golden Dome, with gold leaf where the golden, and inscribed in Arabic and in English, "To our teacher, Mr. Rodger, thank you." That's pride of place on the office in our wall.
Yeah.
But I have a lot of time for the Palestinians then. Now today, obviously, it's a much different world now, isn't it?
It sounds like a mixed emotional of a trip. What was the second 3 weeks like there? Was that just your first 3 weeks?
Yeah.
Did you go back out there after that then?
Yeah, I went for another 3 weeks.
Oh, okay.
So it sounds like a surreal experience from the refereeing perspective, but also then from a personal perspective. you were kind of connected from, let's call it grassroots, all the way up to kind of like head of state or whatever, you know, top
Yeah.
level of person in that
You meet
country.
some great